Here we are on the dead man's chest. Remember that one? Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. 15 men on a dead man's chest. Well, there you go. Or is it something like, is there 15 men in a dead man's? Anyways, here we are. We're pirates this week. Arr! I hope everybody's out there and listening because we're ready to go for another Wacky Wednesday at my sewing room. Yes, all my fellow pirates and scallywags, it's Pirate Sandy here, Captain Sandy to you all. Anyways, I'm here with another Wacky Wednesday, and I see some people are signing in already. Howdy doody, you little scallywags. It's so good to see ya. Oh, I've been on a long journey out to sea. It's been at least 2 weeks since I saw ya, so it's really good. I'm glad you're there and listening. Anyways, yeah, it was a long journey. We had lots of bad weather. Yes, I'm afraid my little pirate, he got a little wet and shrunk, so he's only just a little pirate now. Anyways, yeah, we were out there plundering and gathering treasures, and it was so much fun. And of course, then we had to go and bury the treasure and find our little treasure map and everything. Anyways, here we are after a couple weeks. We're back in my sewing room, and it's good to see everyone. Oh, there you are. Yeah, good to see everyone. And it's really nice of you to tune in on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget to like us, comment, share. You know, we really appreciate that here. Anyways, there's all my peoples. There's my scallywags all signing in. So, so don't tell anybody. But I need some glasses for this next part. Okay? Yeah. All right, here we go. So I'd like to thank everybody who's been visiting me here on Wacky Wednesdays. And a couple of weeks ago, we were making, I can't remember, we were making really nice placemats with the miter corner. They turned out beautiful. They did indeed. Anyways, I'd like to thank all the people who were watching that day, who signed in, who gave us a little comment or two or a like or whatnot. Anyways, I like to just do a little shout out to them. So to all my wonderful pirate friends, to Elaine H, Mary Ellen M, who hails from BC on the coast there, Lana T, Tina B, Carol D, Nicola P, Ann L. Well, that little Ann L, she was in the other day. She came up and visited us at the store. It was so good to see her. Shout out to Brenda C, Loanne F, our lovely teacher Patty B, Ann S from Ontario. I think she signs in and visits us every day we are on. So nice, hey, welcome to the Jolly Sandy Roger here, to Sandy A, Rose L, Teresa S. We also have a Teresa W. And we got 2 Judys too. We got a Judy VO and we got a Judy VDH. Isn't that exciting? 2 Judys. Judys. Anyways, and also a big shout out to all our other fans that watch us all the time. Glenda and Mike. And Gene and that Maui Jim, boy, he's got a sense of humor, and I bet you he's been sailing on a few seas out there. And of course, a very special thank you and welcome to Mary Zed. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys watch us every week. Well, you know, what's a pirate's favorite letter? The letter R, but I'm kind of partial to the C. Yes, ha ha ha, the parrot likes it too. All right, now, what got me started on this whole thing was losing my eye. Oh, and I thought, how am I going to see? I need a case to keep my eye in. Or as Barb in the long arm, that nice long arm lady said, she says, you only need half of one because you only got one eye. Yeah, so I should have a monocle and not a full pair of spectacles. Anyways, it got me started thinking, you know what? I could sure use a glass case Yeah, so this is what we're making today. We're going to make an easy on the eye case. And that's a fun pattern. All right, let me just see. Got to see now. All right, here we go. We are going to make the easy on the eyeglass case. And this is a really cute little pattern by Cut Loose. Ooh, Cut Loose, that sounds fun. Cut Loose pattern. And this design is by Amy Smith. That's a good name, Amy Smith. Anyway, she designed this cute little eyeglass case, and oh, it's fun to make. It's very fun. You can keep your treasures in here. You sure can. All right, everybody. You know, I just wanted to let you know that why don't the pirates shower before they walk the plank? Because they'll just wash up on the shore later. Oh, that's a good gallows humor for you. All right. Let's get started on that easy on the eyeglass. I'm going to turn it over to Sandy. Are you ready? She's going to tell you what we need. All right, so for our project today to make this lovely eyeglass case, of course, is fabric. And I selected some batik because I found that batik doesn't, fray as much. So I thought that would be a good choice. Plus, you can get all these lovely tropical, beautiful colors and mix it all up and make it fun. So other things that this lady tells us we need. So we need 3 fat quarters of coordinating fabric. We need some thread, and in this case I used Isacord, and you can use variegated or you could use a solid. I used a lovely solid blue this time because I really wanted my decorative stitches to show up on my thing. I don't know if you can see some of those. Look at how pretty those decorative stitches are. They're just absolutely lovely. So we're going to be doing some fun stuff today. All right, we also need, I used the number 1 foot because I had a little guide because you got to get right down the middle of the strips, or you could use your walking foot if that's got a center guide as well. It might keep your lines nice and straight, especially when you're doing that lovely decorative stitching. She also calls for a turner, and she called for the purple Thang, and we do have that available. Or we also have the Dritz turner and presser, or the Essentials Alex Anderson's 4-in-1 sewing tool, which also has a turner. So you need a turner. You need your mat, you need your rulers, you need a square, you need your rotary cutter, of course you need your scissors, and you always need your seam ripper. You also need your pins, you need some marking pencil, and you need your add a quarter ruler. So we're not doing paper piecing, but they do use the add a quarter ruler. All right, let's go back up front. There we go. And I'm going to set up my board so you can see how I made this cute little eyeglass container. So I need to have my big board out here. We're going to move to the top screen so you can see me working here. All right, so first things off, I picked out the fabric. And in this case, I picked out batiks, and I picked out 3 that kind of coordinated. So I picked a really fun pattern, and then a solid, and then a matching one that gives you another design. Because we're going to put them on in strips and layers so that you've got a little bit of definition. You can see the differences. All right, so that's the first thing I did, was pick that fabric. After that, I cut the fabric to the correct sizes, and they tell you that you can use a piece of fusible batting, so that would be like the Pellon fusible fleece, or you can use just regular batting to put in here. But you're going to take your fabric and you're going to cut out a rectangle for the inside of the bag. And I selected the lighter color so that, you can see in your pouch a little better. So I cut that the same size as I cut my batting square. And then I went and cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I seem to be missing one. I've lost one. He must be stuck together. 6, there he is, 6 3-inch strips. And these are the same width as the fabric that we're going to be using today. So first thing we do is we've got to get that inside layer attached to our batting. So I'm just going to put down a little bit of parchment paper here, and I'm going to use my 505 spray because I don't want to get everything sticky. All right, just spray that, baby. There we go. And then take your batik. The one thing about batik too is it's really hard sometimes to tell you which side is up. Anyways, we're just going to center that on our batting and smooth it out a little. All right, there we go. And that is going to be actually inside of our eyeglass case. So there it is. Let's just get it off that sticky piece of paper. All right, so there's our first piece that we've done. Now, what they do is they ask you, and I got to move over just a little so that you can see my ironing board here. Slide that into the picture. They ask you to take these lovely 3-inch wide strips, and they ask you just to fold them in half and iron them. So you're going, and you do that wrong sides together. So the right sides are going to be showing because we're going to be sewing them directly onto our batting. So we're just going to iron that pieces just in half. Use your, putting your wrong sides together. And we're going to do that to all of the strips. So there should be 2 times 3 is 6 strips. All right, so we don't have to show me ironing every strip, but I'll show you ironing a couple so you can see how we hook them together. All right, so you do that with all of your strips so that they are folded in half, wrong sides together. There we go. So let's just tuck that out of the way now that we're finished ironing so I don't burn myself. Back to our picture. All right. Let's go back to me for a minute so I can tell you another joke. Oh, gotta put my eye on so I can see. Are you ready? Okay. All right, you scallywags. It's, what does the pirate say when he gets his leg caught in the freezer? He says, shiver me timbers. Yes, he does. He says, shiver me timbers. Oh, I got a really bad joke for you. You really want to hear a bad joke? Oh, he says, how much does a parrot pay for his peg leg and his hook? Well, it only costs him an arm and a leg. Yes, it does, especially if he gets caught in that freezer. Ooh, shiver me timbers. All right. Okay, back to our project. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with taking off my eye patch so I can see. All right. You're going to take a strip, and it doesn't matter which one of your strips. I alternated these, and I put a pink one, then a colored one, then a blue one, and then I thought, well, you know, the top edge gets kind of mangled when you're playing with it all the time. So I thought I'd start with a dark strip. So I took the dark strip, and the first thing they do is they tell you to open it up. If I can get it apart, they say open it up because you're going to have it border over the edge from the front to the back. So you're sliding it in like a little sandwich. So you're going to have one side of the fabric on one side and the other on the batting side. And I found that sometimes it wiggled. It did. It wiggled a little bit when I tried to put it on. So what I did was I just took a little shot of that 505 spray just to give it a small baste. That way it all just stuck together a little bit easier anyways. So, okay, so then I just, you know, snug that edge right up into that fold, and then you pull it down on this side, and it's nice and firm and snug. Now, don't worry about the raw edges because we're going to start sewing those down, and our sewing will catch it. Plus also anything that's on this side of the fabric will be inside your case, but it will get sewn down. Okay. All right. First thing you do, we're going to use that 1/4-inch ruler she asked us to get. Well, and you know what? We're not going to do it like we do paper piecing, but we're going to use that 1/4-inch to draw a line. And in this case, I used the Choco White liner with the thing so you can see this. So you take your add a quarter and you put the 1/4-inch, and you can use any ruler that's got a 1/4-inch. So you don't have to actually have an add a quarter ruler. I just had one. So then you take your first line of chalk and mark it on there. So you can see where I made the chalk line. That is where I'm going to sew my first strip. So now you have to decide which strip goes next. Well, I like the color one, the multicolored one, and that way it kind of blends into the other two. So you take it with the fold side up and you just lay it right along that white chalk line. Now here's where you take it back to that sewing machine. You pick out a beautiful decorative stitch and you just very carefully stitch right down, right in the center of that line, right down here. Bloop. Whatever decorative stitch you like. My only suggestion is that you make it so it's something that goes on either side of the line. So I'll show you what I mean. So if you look at the one that I did, I picked out a little leaf pattern for the top one, and it goes on the blue and then on the color. So you're kind of straddling that line. The next one I did was a butterfly, and then I forgot and I did a butterfly again, which is really silly. And then I did a little diamond pattern, and the last one was kind of fun. It was a little up and down and up and down and up and down, but it's just enough to catch the edge and hold it down. So whatever decorative stitch you would like to use, please do. All right, so decorative stitch this down. Then you take your add a quarter ruler or whatever ruler you've got with a 1/4 inch, put that 1/4 inch right along the open for edge and draw your white line again. And then you take your next strip, very pretty, fold at the top and you lay it along that little line. And then you decorative stitch again. So whatever, pick another fun decorative stitch, pick a different color thread, do a variegated one, anything you like. Anyways, we're just going to keep layering these until we've got them all layered on. So the next one would be my blue strip, and I'd sew that down. Then the multicolored strip, which I hadn't ironed, and sew it down. And then my very last one, the orange strip, lay it here. So you now got them all stitched down very nicely. Now it's not always going to be even on the sides, I found out, and it's not always going to be even here, but don't panic. Just as long as you've got them secured with stitches. So I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see now I've stitched each of my set lines with different stitches, and it's really kind of fun. But look at the back. Look at how fun that is. You can see all your lovely decorative stitches, and you'll see that you're not to worry about that raw edge right there. It got sewn down and it's not going anywhere. But look at all the different kind of stitches that I did. They're really fun. All right, so there it is. Now what we're going to do next is to just trim this up. So that's where those other rulers come in. So let's take another ruler in your little rotary cutter, and you just kind of want to trim the raw edges so it looks nice and neat. So let's line it up along the top, and I think these ones are pretty good. There's just a little bit of ratties, and we're just going to eliminate those ratties. Woo! Just like that, eliminate the ratties. And we're going to do that, the same thing on the other side, eliminate the little ratties. Okay, whoops, wiggled. I wiggled and my ratties got wiggly there. So it's nice and trimmed, nice and even. Now, she says in her little instructions to actually sew this with a 5/8 inch seam. So that's a lot bigger than what we use as quilters. So that's why I picked out a walking foot or my number one, which has lines, because we need to do a bigger stitch, right? Instead of our nice even 1/4 inch stitch. All right, so now your next job is to fold this right sides together. Just like that, just like that. And then you're going to sew it. You're going to take your little foot or your walking foot and you're going to sew all the way down here, 5/8 of an inch, turn at that corner and sew across here. I just, when I did this, I thought, you know what, this is going to take a little wear and tear when I go to turn this. So, oh, you got to see my eye patch there. Okay. Sorry, there I can see you better. Okay, so I sewed this actually down on that 5/8 of an inch, but I used the triple stitch because that gave us a stitch back, stitch forward, stitch back, stitch forward. So it was very well secured. And I stitched across there and I stitched it across there. Oh, and you know what it looks like when you're done? Ooh, look at this, look at this. Oh, it's going to top. Nope, we want to go close up. Oh, it's too many cameras. Now I can't see. Got to put my eye patch on. So this is what it actually looks like. This is the triple stitch. And I just triple stitched it down. And then I just trimmed off a little of the excess bulk. They tell you to trim a little bit on the corners too, so it's a little easier to turn it when you turn it. She said to gradiate your seams, grade them like those nice sewer people do with their garments. And that's what we did when I did those vests as well too. Earlier this year sewing, I had to learn a whole new language. These sewers that sew clothes speak a different language than we quilters. All right, so the next thing we do is we turn this. Okay, so turn this guy. Put him out here for you so you can see him. And remember Anne's trick, thumb in the corner, bend it down, and then pull. Or just don't rip your fingernails off. It comes out in a nice little ball. Isn't that lovely? It's a very colorful ball. It's a tough one. Oh, mateys, you got to be really strong to get that one through. All right, so once we've got it turned, then you're going to use your purple Thang or your 3 and 4 in 1 tool or your presser turner, or in this case I have a little edge, and you just want to poke out the edges. And that's going to be the cutest little eyeglass case ever, right? Now, there he is. Pop out that corner. Pop it out. There we go. And there he is. Now, I kind of made this one. I was trying to make it a little bit bigger than this one, but I didn't. They're about the same size. But I thought, wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it just be fun if you made this a little bit bigger? You could put your cell phone in it. And if you're like me who keep dropping your cell phone on the ground, yes, it's a good idea. The other thing is, you know, you don't have to just stop at the size that she tells you to in there. You can make this really big. You could make this into a little bag just by making it bigger. All you need to do is make sure your strips are the same width as what you're making it, and it's really easy just to fold it, sew it, and you can make this little pouch as big as you like. And I was thinking too, you know, it would be really good if you put a handle on it, right? And then you could have a little handle, or you know, when I did that one sewing project, we used the Velcro that glues on and just iron. You could actually glue it, iron that Velcro on and have an opening and closing so that you don't lose your eyeglasses, or you don't misplace them. You know how that goes every once in a while. Yes. My mateys, my mateys. Oh, we need to tell you another joke, I think, before we go. Oh, let's see what it says here. Oh, it says, what's a pirate's favorite exercise? Well, of course, it's the plank. Oh, yeah. And you know what? You know what you call a pirate's hairstyle? It's a crew cut. Yes. Oh, slap my wooden leg. That was a funny one. All right. Anyways, everybody, that, my friends, my scallywags, my mateys, that is how you make a cute little glass case. So that was easy on the eyeglass case by Cut Loose Prints by Amy Smith. And you know, our darling Dawn, isn't she just the best? She made us something. She made us little kits, which are just adorable. And she made them in many different colors. And this pattern is only available in the kits. We were given permission by this Cut Loose Press, to make these into kits and to use them. So we don't have the pattern for sale. We just have the little eye kits, so, or the eyeglass kits. So if you like that, you can buy one, then you've got the pattern and you can make it as many times as you like. It's called Easy on the Eyeglass Case, and it's $19.99, and that gets you your fabric. It feels like it gets you your pattern, and then you just need a little bit of batting and away you go. All right, so she's made some different colored ones. This one's really pretty with the teals and greens. This is a really nice peachy one. And of course, she made one that has my colors in it. So that Dawn, she's just a doll. She made us these lovely, lovely kits. So Easy on the Eyeglass Kits called. Love it. And of course, we used to batiks. And you know, earlier this year, we got a mountain of batiks in, solids, and then we got a whole bunch of lovely patterned ones. So that's where I was able to get this one from, was the new ones that just came in. So anyways, those are lovely batiks. You got to check those out. Now, it's coming up on Halloween pretty soon, and me mateys, there's a nice store next door, and I went and visited, and that's where I got my wonderful pirate costume. But you know, if you're a really good sewer, you could make this costume no problem. And I just wanted to point out to you that we actually have some really nice pirate fabric at the store, and you could make yourself a nice outfit out of that. Or, oh, look what Dawn made us. Oh, how cute this is. This is a lovely little Pirate Tales quilt. It makes 37 by 45. It includes the pattern, the fabric, the quilt top, and binding. So all you need is your backing and binding. And you've got your very own pirate quilt. Very nice. And it is $79.99. And that's using the Odessa pattern from Villa Rose Design. Absolutely. Oh, sensational. Sensational. So that's my Dawn. She's been very, very busy. And my other little scallywag, Tyler, he sets us up and gets us going and makes sure we're doing a great job. So, you know, gotta thank them. Gotta thank everybody else too for helping me pick out some nice fabrics and get the things all organized. And, you know, they're busy working while I get to have fun with you, you little scallywags. Anyways, that is how you make the Easy on the Eyeglass Case and have some fun with it. Now, next week, oh, and I will be back. I will be back next week, and I'll have another marvelous thing that we can make together. Anyways, my friends, my wonderful mateys, you guys have an awesome rockin' week this week, and I will see you back here next week, the same time. All right. Okay. Don't get lost out there in that big world. You have some fun and have a good time. All right. And it's